I mean, is Cooper Rush worth 2.5 points? I would hope Quinn Ewers put up a decent stat line against Arizona State. If he didn't, we have a real problem.
You can say the same thing about Creighton. Okay, they had the one good game against Panthers at home.
When Toast talks about the kicking market, it's like some earth is flat shit. Andy, true or false, this is going to be a dog walking.
Dog walking. This is my dog walking of the day. I think it's going to be very ugly. Dog walking. I think this is going to be ugly.
Hey, get the sauce. I've done that a time or two as well. Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday. It's NFL Sunday, Week 8. Hope you all are having a lovely weekend so far as we're getting through it. Are we live? Can someone check? Yeah, we're live. For some reason, my TV still says we're waiting. Oh, here we go. Let me mute it.
Yeah, we're in.
Yep, we're good. So, real quick, shout out to the comments yesterday. Normally, for anyone who does this knows how it goes. Normally, if you have a good day, there's no comments throughout the day. And if you have a bad day, there's a million. Yesterday, I had an okay day. I had a profitable college football Saturday. It wasn't a great day at all. I made 0.38 units. I mean, any day where you finish in the positive is thumbs up. That's good by me. All the comments are like, dude, killed it today. Like, I had to keep checking. I don't even think I'm doing that well. But shout out to the positive comments. Nice change of pace. Usually you go 6-1 and all the comments are about the one. Well, oh, you killed my parlay. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, you see that guy that got dragged online the other day for missing on Jahmyr Gibbs under rushing prop on the day he went bananas. That guy was very public. He was like 13-3 that day. He went viral, got dragged for being a total loser. He had a monster week.
Yeah, they're not really rooted in reality, some of those.
Right.
But yeah, appreciate the positive comments yesterday. We got 11 games to go through, is it? Or is it 12? 4, 6, 8, 10? Yeah, 11. We got 11 games to go through today. Kind of a tough day. There's a lot of touchdown favorites on the board. I did add a bet this morning. We'll get through it.
I didn't like that bet, just for the record.
Yeah, I know. You have 3 bets on that game, and I think they're all wrong. I think every single one of your bets is wrong.
I can't wait to talk about that one. Let's get it going.
Yeah, we're talking about Denver, Dallas, by the way. I did place a bet on that game, and Toast has 3 bets all on the other side of it. So,
well, yeah, okay.
I almost feel like no matter what it is, everybody can get home. Unless they're literally, mutually exclusive, everything could get home in that game.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, his bets, no, that's not happening.
Listen, I'm done talking trash about the kicker props, bro. If Toast is on it, so am I, man.
I'm not done talking trash about the kicker props. Toast has several of those today. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Jets, Bengals. John, I don't think you sent a graphic in for this. Did you have a thought on this one?
Yeah, I mean, it's a puking sound or some kind of like diarrhea sound effect, probably. I don't know how we found a team on the planet be a sound favorite to this Jets team. It's just insane. I don't know, man. Joe Flacco is kind of dancing like no one's watching. That's what I said this week. He's out there slinging. Old man understands the assignment. Pepper, Jamar, Chase with targets. No Sauce today, probably one of the focal points. The problem, everybody's really high on all these props and stuff. I guess the Jets are a little bit better with Justin Fields under center. They're a little more capable of exploding, but they're a little less capable of sustaining, if that makes sense. Right? Justin Fields a thrill a minute. Lots of sacks, lots of turnovers all the time. But stoppable force and movable object, because man, this Bengals defense is straight up trash. 395 yards a game, one of 4 teams to give up more than 6 yards a play. I think they're dead last in defensive success rate and all the EPA shit. So it's anybody's guess if the Jets are going to be able to get home. If they're going to, it's against the Bengals, right? And if the Bengals could cover against anybody with that defense, it would be this Jets team, because they're just so horrible. To lose Garrett Wilson and Sauce Gardner, there's no redeeming qualities left. So I would take Cincy to cover. I probably like the over 44.5. I actually might have wrote that to you. I think I like that because the Jets probably get to like 15 or 20, and they're capable of giving up 25, 20.
Couldn't agree more. I'm on over 43.5. I'd still take it at 44.5. I think.
I'm sorry, Kyle. Did it drop to 43.5?
No, I bet it early in the week.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, I'm on the over in this one. Couldn't agree more. I think Justin Fields helps the over as well because like John said, it's boom or bust, huge play or pick six, both point towards overs. This Bengals offense, I don't need to tell you guys how they look very good against the Steelers on Thursday Night Football. We all watched it. It was impressive. And if you look at their body of work, you even include the Jake Browning games. How many games have the Bengals played against bad defenses this year? This team has been through the gauntlet. They've played every single good defense at Cleveland, at Minnesota, at Denver, Detroit, at Green Bay. Played a lot of tough games, and Green Bay's defense looks a little suspect, but they played a lot of tough games, and I'm pretty sure the Green Bay game, though, Packers were coming off a bye. But the point I'm making is, at home against Jacksonville, they put up 31 points. Home against Pittsburgh, they put up 33 points. So this Bengals offense, not only does it look better with Joe Flacco, but they've put up a big number every single time they've been put in an opportunity to score some points. And Jets defense with no Sauce Gardner, I'm not even sure how well Sauce Gardner is playing this year anyway, but Jets defense with no Sauce Gardner, yeah, I think we can all agree Cincinnati's going to score. But on the other side, like John said, I mean, this Bengals defense,
Oh, it's bad.
This is really bad. Guys, there was a huge win against the Steelers Thursday night. It was awesome. We all at Cincinnati. We celebrated. We high-fived. We had a lot of laughs. The Steelers had 7.4 yards per carry in the game. 7.4. The Steelers aren't even a good rushing attack. So this Bengals defense is next level bad. And you know what else is bad? The Jets offense. They haven't scored a touchdown in almost a calendar month now. But anybody can move the ball in this Bengals defense. And with Justin Fields, he can give us big plays. He can give us big plays the other way. I think everything points to an over in this one. It looks like actually you can get a flat 44 now. Are they taking under money? I do not get it. But yeah, I'm on the over. I think the Bengals could put up 30 by themselves in this one, and Jets could contribute as well. So yeah, I did bet this. Toast?
I was trying to play the Jets, so you could put the Jets up for me. I did not bet it because I personally wanted Tyrod Taylor if I was going to bet the Jets. I'm just not a big Justin Fields fan, but because Taylor's been pretty good in this spot. But I will say also, winless road dogs halfway through the year have done really well, 21-12 ATS. So if you're looking for a dog, there's some trends that likes the Jets. But like I said, I just couldn't get there. I didn't want to deal with Brady Cook or whoever it might be playing quarterback for the Jets.
I throw in one more gross one. I forgot. Anyone, if you're into this kind of nerdy under the hood stuff, check out the Twitter handle. I put up a couple graphs this morning. I know that shit's free. Jets are missing all of the targets because Reynolds is out also. Reynolds sucked up all the targets without Wilson. Now he's down also. Arian Smith ran 100% of routes in the last game after all the injuries happened. His receiving prop is 19.5 yards. Like, you just can't, you should fall into that accidentally, and it's around, I saw minus 105, minus 110. If anyone's into really gross props, Jets, if you like the over, you got to think every route receiver is going to get to 20 yards. Someone's got to get the buy. This is crazy.
So Arian Smith over 19.5 receiving yards, you're saying?
Yeah, minus 105 I just saw. I'm on that myself. I like to share the stuff I'm actually betting.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Arian Smith over 19.5 receiving yards. Next up, why did we move on the screen? Next up.
Somebody said I look like Blake Snell right now. Touche, thank you.
San Francisco, Houston. I really like the matchup for the Texans defense here, but go ahead, Toast. Give us your kicker prop.
Oh, Kaimi Fairbairn over 7.5 kicking points. He's actually been one of the better kickers at home. So I don't really think if you've been following them, you need me to tell you how good he has been. He also can kick the deep ball. I also played the Texans as well, personally, on the money line. So I think this Texans team is a lot better than people give them credit for. I know they had a rough couple of weeks, but I played the Texans on the money line, and I also played Fairbairn over 7.5 kicking points. We rarely see 7.5 with Fairbairn like this at home. I'll more than gladly take my chances here.
He's got home away splits for kicker. Great kicker at home.
Well, when you're at home in the dome, and then you got to go on the road to places like the humidity of Jacksonville and stuff like that, you have to take that into account.
He knows how to kick in this building, John.
Well, you know what? I can't believe I'm doing this because as much as I would love to clown here, we have a great time. Listen, what I love about being here is this: you guys are sharp and Toast, even in this madness, the lunacy of kicking props.
Don't gas them up,
making me think. Okay, so this is a game that I like to the under, but the line is reflected. I don't like to go under 41 because one fumble turnover or whatever could ruin that in a play. But I do like the thinking of in a game where we think touchdowns will come at a premium and maybe the total is too low to bet, the kicking prop is nice. I think we're going to get field goals. Like that actually makes sense in a really sick way. My worry here is the Niners. I can't remember a team just so injured. They might be missing I lost count of 6. They're missing at least 5 or 6 starters. And now we're talking about Warner and Bosa, and then forget on the other side, Purdy and Pearsall. I wonder if they're going to work Kittle back in, though he did look to positively affect the run game. You're going to need that against the Texans, whose defense, say what you want, talk shit about the way Houston kind of built the offense, probably incorrectly, not focusing on the line. The defense is really good. I mean, they create turnovers. They stop everybody. It's drive efficiency. They're good against the run. They tackle well. They get splash plays. They even the linebackers are good in coverage against the slot. There's a lot of really good stuff going on there. Mac Jones and San Fran is good at points, but you guys like to talk about competition level. I think it's to be really high here. I don't like much of anything. I like the kicking prop in this game. That's what I like now because I kind of had a blank slate. I don't really know where the ball is going to go either side. King's ransom to anybody who knows where the Texans' targets are going to go. I guess Dalton Schultz probably looks like a good play, but those props are too expensive. Hutchinson looks like an every down player, but Noel was the guy in the slot that got all the work last time. I don't really know where it's going to go. I'm with host. Give me the boot. Give me the boot props,
I looked out of the comments. I saw one comment.
Huge fan of barefoot kickers, by the way. I don't know if I got that out there.
There's all one comment in all capital letters. He goes, "Stop playing Toast to kick God."
Yeah, so true. It's the truth.
So I agree with under. My favorite angle in this game is Houston's defense. I just think there's a lot going in the direction for Houston defensively here. As far as CJ Stroud against San Francisco's defense, that's a little bit more up in the air. I wouldn't be surprised if CJ Stroud has a good game. He does play better at home, and so that side, CJ Stroud against San Francisco's defense, I'm a little iffy on, but I do think Houston's going to play a great defensive game here. First of all, this is a defense that plays better at home, that dates back to last year. But specifically, I like this matchup. You got D'Amico Ryans coaching against his old head coach, his old team, his old mentor, and Robert Saleh. I mean, if there's a game where D'Amico Ryans is prepping for, it's going to be this one. And if there's a defensive coach in the NFL that has the down low on how to slow down Kyle Shanahan's offense, it's going to be D'Amico Ryans. And in addition to just the narrative of, coaching against his old team, in addition to that, I also think personnel-wise, they're in excellent shape here. D'Amico Ryans has said a number of times, I think twice, that stopping Christian McCaffrey is the priority, and who can disagree with that after what we saw last week? How about that 3rd and 13 or whatever, and Christian McCaffrey, who has 160 of the 220 scrimmage yards, is wide open at the sticks. So after seeing what happened last week, you have to think the number one priority is slowing down Christian McCaffrey. And like I said, D'Amico Ryans has said that. And what Houston has on defense is a ton of athleticism in the front seven. The current injuries to the 49ers wide receivers doesn't really scare you on the outside. Tell me Houston's defense is just going to be multiple sets of eyes on Christian McCaffrey on every single play. They're capable of pressuring the quarterback without sending extra rushers, so they don't need to commit to that. They can pressure the quarterback without even sending anybody. The key in on Christian McCaffrey, dare Mac Jones to throw the ball downfield. Not that Mac Jones is completely incapable of it, but with the current receivers, and Mac Jones has some pretty ugly efficiency numbers throwing the ball deep this year. Again, not that he's not capable of it, but if I'm Houston, if I'm D'Amico Ryans and I'm looking at Stingley and my secondary against the 49ers receivers, Jawan Jennings and the current members of the 49ers receiving corps that are going to be out there, I'm willing to play that. Go ahead. Just try throwing it deep. Mac Jones is going to give one to Stingley. So, yeah, I really like the setup for Houston's defense. I think they're going to play a great defensive game. This is one of the best defenses in the NFL. On the other side of the ball, man, you can persuade me either way. CJ Stroud doesn't look very strong, but he does play much better at home. And something San Francisco's defense has struggled with this year. Now, San Francisco's defense looked great last week, and I think San Francisco's defense as a whole is undervalued because they had those two really ugly games on the road against Tampa, on the road against the Rams. Outside of those two games, they're allowing 17 points per game. It's a very well-coached defense, and last week was a statement game against Atlanta, and I think everyone's looking at the two stars out there, Warner and Bosa. This defense can still tackle. They're still well coached, so I wouldn't be surprised if this is a super low-scoring game and C.J. Stroud struggles a little bit, but I do lean towards the Texan side, so I'll put Houston up, but it's up to a juice 2.5 now. And I would not, no way I would bet that. I mean, Houston is such a 21-19 final scores type of team. In the type of games that the Houston Texans play, a juice 2.5 is actually a serious price to pay. So yeah, I'll put Texans -2 up as my pick for a side. But my favorite bet in the game would be the under. Didn't bet either.
I just want to add one more thing. 49ers probably could have had a couple more losses. They've had a few one-score games that went their way. And then the last thing, Mac Jones is 5-12 ATS as an underdog, failing to cover by almost a field goal a game. So not the spot you want to get with Mac Jones as an underdog catching points.
Mac Jones 5-12 ATS as an underdog. How do you like that?
Hate to see it.
Hashtag trends.
Yo, I do what I can, Ben.
Yeah, you had Fairbairn kicking trends before.
And it's been a freaking gold mine. You saw the comments.
Kick God. Bears, Ravens. I don't even want to talk about this game.
Why?
Because I have Ravens -6.
Oh, brutal, bro. Come on.
That's I didn't bet this game, so you can tell everybody why you.
Yeah, well, I mean, the reason why I bet the Ravens was the Bears' run defense is terrible, and I think the Ravens' run game is kind of being slept on. They've played a lot of games against a lot of really good run defenses this year. Let me scroll down to my notes for this one. I have the graphic queued up. Bears, Ravens, Bears, Ravens. Where's my Bears, Ravens stuff? Sorry about that. Here we go. So, they've played games against Cleveland, Detroit, Houston, Rams. Those are 4 top 10 defenses. In fact, 3 of them are probably top 5 defenses. So Baltimore's played a lot of games against some strong run defenses, and they've struggled to run the ball in those games. In their other 2 games, the only 2 times the Ravens have played a defense not in the top 10, Buffalo and Kansas City, who, by the way, are good teams, but the only 2 times the Ravens have played teams not in the top 10 defensively, they averaged 8.8 yards per carry. 8.8. Are you kidding me? 8.8 yards per carry. Now, they did have like a 65-yard run at the end of the Chiefs game in garbage time to kind of pad those a little bit. But this Ravens team has played most of the season against very strong defenses, and the Bears cannot stop the run at all. The Saints, I don't know what the Saints were doing last week. We'll get into that in a few games. The Saints, for whatever reason, just did not run the ball last week against Chicago. Kellen Moore, we'll talk about that when we get to the Saints. But in the first 5 games before the Saints game, the Bears are allowing 5.7 yards per carry over 156 rushing yards per game. This is a bottom 6 or 7 run defense. Baltimore's going to be able to hand the ball off and rip 5 or 6 yards per carry in this game. The problem is, when I placed the bet, obviously, I thought Lamar Jackson was going to play because every piece of media out there was indicative of him playing. So I still think the Ravens can run the ball, and I actually think we're at a really great buy low spot for the Ravens defensively. That defense has a lot of talent. Yes, they've got some injuries to the defensive front, but the Bears are not really a team that scares you on the ground, and there's a ton of talent in that Ravens second. That secondary is kind of loaded. And if you remember Baltimore last year, about 6-7 games into the season, they had the worst pass defense in the NFL. They completely turned it around, and Baltimore was actually a top 5 defense down the stretch. And it seems like we're seeing them repeat that same pattern here. We just saw them play a really stout defensive game against the Rams last week. I was on Rams -7. Baltimore scored 3 points, and I still sweat the shit out of that. The Ravens defense was playing really well last week against the Rams, which is an offense I consider to be better than the Bears, and now they're at home. Roquan Smith is back. Cheeto's back at corner. I think the Ravens defense is going to play well here. So, yeah, I think the Ravens win this game. My pick is still the Ravens. My bet, completely underwater. I'm on -6. So, hey, maybe I could get lucky, but, yeah, I do think it's a buy low spot on the Ravens defensively, and I think they're able to run the ball. John?
Yeah, I think you nailed it. It's kind of bullshit because not just the Lamar full practice, right, which is usually like a total indication the guy's going to play. When you think about the spot that Baltimore is in also, like right now it's I don't want to say it's win or go home. Can you have a must-win game in week 8. I mean, they only have one win right now. I didn't think they would rush him back when I saw a full practice. I figured, okay, then it comes out. It was with the scout team, and he's not playing, so that's bullshit. I think you nailed the main thing with the Ravens, the defense, right? Roquan back, Kyle Hamilton back, Marlon Humphrey's back. Like, this is the Ravens defense that plays up. The Bears have done a pretty good job of hiding Caleb lately, if you noticed. They've got some kind of explosive plays from DeAndre Swift. I didn't know that was still in the tank. The non guys look pretty good. So they've been okay. You know, he's pretty creative with the run game. You got a lot of motion and stuff. So maybe Baltimore's able to, Chicago, I mean, he's able to kind of churn some first downs. I don't know if they get totally stuffed out, but I'm kind of leaning towards an under the more we talk about it, because other side, you nailed it. Bears run defense is terrible. They don't they're just terrible. They don't tackle, they don't get to the runner. So, like, they're bottom 5 in yards before contact and after contact for rush. I like to split the two because it gives you an idea of how, like, pre-development and post-development, the Bears don't close. This would be a huge game for Henry. And the Baltimore's going to go, who's under center? Snoop and Loop. What happened to the Cooper Rush project? You know, that went the way to Dodo. So, like, yeah, I'm totally on the under. I'm surprised it's a few points higher than I thought, unless my line didn't update. Is it 44.5? It's 44.5. I'm under that bad boy. Other than that, maybe Henry attempts, because they're going to look to hide Huntley. But I'm with you. I don't think we're going to get much in this game.
Yeah, I like an under also. In fact, I'll put the under up too.
I got 45.5. Is that right?
Whoops. Sorry.
Yeah, I got 45.5 minus 108. I like that a lot.
Hold on, I lost.
Baltimore's defense, Kyle. I think you nailed it. We talk about this all the time. Being on top of trajectories. I think people, and I'm the first, spreadsheet hunk to admit it. You got to be careful. I'm the spreadsheet guy. But you got to be careful with stats as things change and players return. It's a big.
Don't get lost in the spreadsheet, John.
Dude, I love the spreadsheet. I love it to the spreadsheet. But you just got to know when they could be a little bit misleading, right? Is when you get big returns and stuff. I don't know. I just heard a lot of this quoting. Baltimore is dead last in this and dead last in this. I'm like, you're not splitting this properly. I think you're getting misled.
Yeah.
Toast, what do you think?
It would be Baltimore or pass for me. Obviously, I didn't bet it. I saw the Lamar Jackson news and stuff like that. For me, it was a question of can Baltimore play this game and not turn the ball over? Because for me, when I look at this game from a higher up level, I see the Bears winning 4 straight games or whatever it was, and they've been really good, but they kind of got lucky against the Commanders. They kind of got lucky against the Raiders, and then Saints and the Cowboys are fine. But I mean, they've had a plus 11 turnover margin over those last 4 games. I mean, plus 13, I think, for the year. Meanwhile, the Ravens are a -7 turnover margin. So I don't think those things continue to go. On top of it, teams with a winning percentage of 20% or less as a 3-point favorite or more, 30, 14, and 2. So a pretty decent trend to the Ravens as well. I don't think it really matters if Lamar Jackson plays. I know that's crazy to sound like, but I think that the Ravens are just going to. I think the Ravens are just going to try to run the ball the whole night. This Bears team isn't good. I think they're a little bit fugazi personally. So I'm not a football guy, John. So some of my takes are a little
Jackson
bit
good at football. If you know like 3 things about football,
no, I know that he's good. I'm just saying that I don't think for
spread.
me right now today, I don't think it matters if he plays.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I mean,
if they win the game, not saying
really
that he's not good.
I'm really disappointed in these teams that don't do a better job with your quarterback. He's like the backup. I mean, the understudy. You carried him through practice. You give him starts, and then to just turn around and grab somebody off the street. Again, to me, it just feels like a condemnation of something under the hood with the organization. Because how could you not know where you turn with a guy like Amara out?
And on top of that, you mentioned the Ravens getting all those defensive pieces back. Caleb Williams, second highest missed throw rate in the league, so he's not going to have a lot of success.
He does not look great.
No,
he's played well in those opening 15 plays, like those scripted Ben Johnson drives. He's played well. Other than that, it's been more bad than good. Now, granted, his story is still yet to be told, but the people that are talking about it like, oh, Caleb has arrived, I'm not there yet. You guys are all big on competition level. Outside of the Cowboys offense, all the last 3 or 4 teams they played have not been great.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson definitely matters if he's out there.
I didn't think it didn't matter. I'm talking about as far as covering a 2.5-point spread. Yeah, I can see you, everybody. Stick to baseball, Toast. Whatever.
Now I'm going to bet the Ravens just for that.
Oh, God. Guaranteed hit, too. Guaranteed hit.
Whatever. It's all good. Lamar sucks.
Yeah, I saw that. Someone said, stick to baseball, Toast. It's all right. A comment before goes, Kyle's a Chicago hater. He's a Lions fan. When I picked the Bears 2 weeks ago against the Commanders, and everyone was like, Kyle's a Bears fan. He hates the Commanders. Like, people just get triggered if you pick against their NFL team. Dolphins, Falcons. John, what do you think here?
This was my misprice of the week. I try and be very careful about thinking I know better than this market. It's extremely sharp and humbles really smart people. That said, even with the Cousins thing, I think that's part of why I think people have this idea that like Kirk Cousins is not really good at football. I think he's extremely old, and I think they pushed him too fast off an injury that hobbles guys half his age and 10 times more athletic. It takes them longer to get back. I think he's going to run an efficient offense. This Miami defense is atrocious. We've seen them just get torn to shreds by, again, players that are half the player that Bijan is, not to mention Algier, probably one of the best kind of 1-2 backup. Like, you're not getting much relief when he's back there, even if you know you could stack the box against him. Miami has just been atrocious. 6 yards a play, sub 50% success rate, and the rush stuff is awful. 5.25 yards per rush, 1 3/4 before, 3.5 yards after, double-digit 20-yard rushes, 13% explosive rush rate. They're going to get torched today. Atlanta much better in their own building, all the fast track stuff. I think their defense is also undersold when they're really healthy. Atlanta looking like a top 5 D on the spreadsheet. 55 plays allowed per game, just 265 yards, sub 5 yard per play allowed. Atlanta is very good. And Miami, newsflash, not only do they suck, Tua's coming off his worst game of the year. It looks like the friendship between him and McDaniel, that mind meld is pretty important to have that continuity between quarterback and head coach. That looks like it's broken. And they just announced it as a starter like 24 hours ago. There's a chance we're going to see pure systemic failure from Miami in the coming weeks, and they break down this whole thing and start trading everybody. By the way, last note, Tua is going to be like the worst Jet quarterback ever, Nick. Can't wait to see him in green.
I mean, not necessarily even disagreeing with you saying Tua is going to be the Jets quarterback next year. I just disagree that they've had some really bad ones. I just disagree that he'll be the worst.
Dude, I know it.
Yeah, he definitely can't be the worst. It's tough to be the worst Jets quarterback. Toast.
When you're wishing for Mike White, when you think about Zach Wilson, things are bad, right? We're down bad, bro. We are down really bad.
And to make it even worse, Rodgers actually looks pretty good now, and it's like,
and no. Okay, Gino is struggling right now, but he come off 2 very good years. Sam Darnold, 14 wins at the Vikings. Maybe that wasn't a coincidence. Yeah. Man, think about the Jets, how far your own foot has to be up your ass right now. Thinking like Darnold walked, Gino walked, everybody walked, and these guys go and produce somewhere. Sooner or later, you have to realize the problem's in the mirror. The Glenn thing is a total disaster. Oh, my gosh. The way they handled this Fields thing just this week. You went to your backup, didn't know that the backup wasn't even hey. Come on, bro. Can't do that.
Toast, what are your thoughts on the Falcons' kicking situation?
I have no thoughts on that because what's his face? Koo is dead to us all.
Yeah,
I know that they have.
He fell off. Koo fell off.
Yeah, it's been unreal. That's going to be a good 30 for 30 for sure. As far as this game actually goes, it would be over or pass for me. I'm not betting it. I do think that even though that Atlanta has been somewhat decent against the pass, they don't really get to as far as defending it, they don't really get to the quarterback. And they really can't stop the run at all. So maybe Miami finds a way to get the run game going and Tua can get some balls down the field. But it'd be over or pass, but I'm not betting this game.
Yeah, it looks like sharp Miami money's coming in. You can get a 6.5 juice right now for Atlanta. All right, so I agree with John in a sense that this is the perfect matchup for Bijan Robinson at home against a Miami defensive front that just gets blown off the line of scrimmage, a Miami defensive front that's dead last in the NFL in explosive run rate allowed. This Dolphins team is the kings of giving up huge explosive plays on the ground, and Bijan Robinson is the king of doing that. So in terms of Bijan Robinson having a monster day on the stat sheet or on your fantasy team, I would imagine it doesn't get any more picture perfect than this. In addition to that, this Falcons offensive line has done a pretty good job this year creating space, generating push in the run game. They're coming off their worst game man, San Francisco bullied them last week. They couldn't get pushed. They couldn't get the run going. So you have a Falcons offensive line that's been pretty good this year, coming off a bad game too. So they're getting chewed out watching that film from the San Francisco game all week. Coming back home, I think they're going to bully this Miami defensive front. They can't seem to stop anybody on the ground or through the air. I was talking about this in the video I uploaded. Yeah, sure, we know Michael Penix is better than Kirk Cousins, but like, how big is the drop-off right now? Not the rest of the year, not next year, not moving forward. Right now, are we thinking there's a huge drop-off?
The line didn't move. The evidence is there.
Yeah, the market didn't even really care.
First, we had three starting quarterbacks get like announced like a surprise out, and the lines didn't move. Goes to tell you, man, crazy.
Someone in the comments just said Drake London is ruled out as well.
No.
Yeah, he was questionable.
I saw that, but again, man, to go from like to out.
Let's see. It might be just a freak in the comments. One second. Let me check.
So I did see the limitations.
Well, if he's out, I definitely don't want the over.
You're more lines and props.
Inactive. Yep. 1 minute ago from Schefter.
Wow. Bijan's rush and receiving prop is 140 yards on FanDuel. I don't know if I've ever seen that before.
My pick was the over as well. Now, as far as I kind of agree with what Toast was saying, Miami's offense, oh my God, it was bad last week. Right? Here's the thing. It was the worst possible situation the Miami Dolphins could possibly be in. If you were like, and I said this exact thing in the video I uploaded, if someone was like, Kyle, paint a nightmarish picture for this Dolphins offense under Mike McDaniel, I would say probably on the road in Cleveland against that defense with an injured offensive line in bad weather. That's probably what I would have said to paint the most ideal nightmare for Miami. And that was a reality last week. It was the worst possible. Remember, Tua has always historically struggled in bad weather. The Miami offensive line has been missing 3 starters all year. They're on the road against the best run defense in the NFL, probably the best pass rush in the NFL. It was an absolute nightmare for the Dolphins. Now, I'm not implying that the Dolphins offense is good in any way, but now we're indoors, which is definitely more conducive to Mike McDaniel's offense, as we've seen. They always play much better in the nice weather at home at Hard Rock. So now they're indoors, and this Falcons defense has gotten run on. On paper, this is a pretty shaky run defense so far this year. Let's see, I have it right here. They're 31st in success rate per rush. In their last 3 games, they're allowing over 5.5 yards per carry against Buffalo, San Francisco, and Washington. So this Dolphins team, they weren't able to run the ball against New England, Carolina, and Cleveland, 3 of the best run defenses in the NFL, but they ran the ball in all their other games. So what Christian McCaffrey did last week, I think Achane can kind of do something similar to this defense. So I would go over, but this is just an ugly one. There's a lot of ugly games on the board today.
There's a lot of ugly games. The comments are going so wild. It's so funny to me. Kyle doesn't want to pick a side. Kyle tells Toast what to say. This show is scripted. Like, what?
Come in.
I'm telling you, nothing brings out the lowest of IQs than NFL season. Because not every NFL fan is a dumb dude, but every single dumb dude is an NFL fan. Fact. Bills, Panthers, and Carolina. John, what do you think?
I think this is one of the times where you want to look at the line and have it be an indicator that either the Bills aren't as good as some people think they are, or perhaps Carolina is better than some people think they are. I think the answer is somewhere in the middle. And I didn't have the guts to pull the trigger. I kind of like the Carolina +7.
Definitely.
But I ended up closer to the under because that number kept going up. Now we're at 47 and if we're at 47 and a half, I think that's a play I like. You can put me for the under because I think I like the Carolina defense. Again, that front 7 is really, really tough. And I think it might have been just week 1, right? Maybe week 1, was it Etienne? Okay, right. So it was week 1. Travis Etienne had that monster run. He had a big game. And I think people kind of remember those things and then don't go after that. Since then, dude, Bijan got to 72. Looking back, that's like a miracle. No other running back has gotten to 40 yards against this defense since the front 7 for Carolina is pretty serious. Another one of those teams that changes the quarterback, and all of a sudden we're thinking, oh, maybe they are better. I like Brissett better than I like Murray. I like Andy Dalton better than I like Bryce Young. I like quarterbacks that are over 5'8". You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just me. I don't want to hear my quarterback after the game complaining how he can't see the slot receiver. He has to kind of pray every time he throws the ball. So I don't know, man. I like I said, I'm to the under. Which is always kind of risky whenever you're facing Josh Allen. But I think the Bills lack explosive plays. I think they're one of the toughest teams to stop from getting a first down. But I don't think that means they're great down 2 touchdowns, because I don't think they have 30, 40-yard plays in them. Is it Kincaid? I mean, again, so I think the way this game is going to get played closer to the line of scrimmage, very kind of choppy. I like the under. I also like the under on James Cook's rushing yards for that same reason. It was like in the high 70s. No one's gotten near that. If Bijan can't get it, I don't think Cook can. And they've been chopping down his workload a little bit also. So give me a really boring under in this.
I don't hate an under. I'm on the Panthers, and I bet this one. I got +7.5. All right, so Carolina on paper is the most efficient run defense in the NFL this year. Where the hell did that come from? But they are locking down the run. In their last 4 games, they're allowing 3.05 yards per carry. I mean, this is the only defense we've seen slow Dallas down in recent history. They completely took the run away from Dallas. Forced Dak Prescott to do everything himself, and he was able to make some throws, but we saw that offense sputter, and the efficiency numbers for the Cowboys offense weren't very good in that game. What does that remind you of? Reminds me exactly of the Buffalo-New England game. What did the Patriots do? They took the run away from Buffalo. Now, Josh Allen is the man. He was still able to make throws, but when you put your offense, if Carolina is able to take the runaway here, which based on what we've seen, all signs would point towards yes, because nobody's running the ball in the Panthers, especially at home where they've played lights out defense. The Panthers are undefeated at home. So I don't think the Bills are able to run the ball in this game. And if the Panthers are able to take the run away from Buffalo and they put the Bills offense in a position where they're forced to be one-dimensional, it's Josh Allen. Panthers don't have the best pass rush. He'll have clean pockets to throw from without a doubt. But when your offense is put in a position where you're forced to be one-dimensional, it only takes one mistake to screw up a drive, one sack, one holding penalty. That run game puts you in second and shorts where you can afford to have a missed play, a missed throw, and the drive is still salvaged. When you aren't getting those 5-6 yard runs on first down, all it takes is one missed play to ruin a drive, and that's exactly what we saw when Buffalo played New England. Patriots took away the run from the Bills. Josh Allen's efficiency numbers are still good in that game. He was making throws, but just one play screws up the drive, and that's what we saw from Dallas and Carolina, and I think that's what we'll see from Buffalo here. This Panthers defense, in their home games, they've been absolutely electric. They're allowing 17 points per game, 5.4 yards per play. They're 3-0. They played Dallas, Atlanta. One game was against Miami, but the other two, Dallas and Atlanta, I mean, they've not like those are defenses to sneer at. So this Panthers defense plays great at home. They're lead against the run right now. And on the other side of the ball, I don't know what really to expect from the Panthers offensively in terms of the quarterback position. Obviously, Bryce Young, is he officially been ruled out? He was doubtful when I looked. I don't even let's just assume he's not playing. I don't know if it's been officially ruled out, but he was listed as doubtful. One thing the Panthers have been doing extremely...
Yeah, it's still doubtful. Sorry, it's still doubtful.
Yeah, well, one thing Carolina has been doing, and an extremely efficient...
No, he's been ruled out 2 minutes ago. Sports Illustrated says Panthers rule out Bryce Young.
Okay, so no Bryce Young. But when it comes to the rest of the Carolina offense, they're so much healthier than they were early in the season. Remember, their center, Austin Corbett, missed a few games. He's back. Their right tackle, Taylor Moton, I always say that name wrong, but he's back. He missed a couple games. Chuba Hubbard was hurt. He's back. So now they have him and Rico Dowdle. Wide receiver, they had injuries. They're all back. Tight end, Sanders, their tight end, he missed a couple games. He's back. So, yes, there's no Bryce Young. But the rest of the Panthers rest of the Panthers offense is healthier than it has been all year. And this is the most of, this is not a typo. The Panthers are the most efficient run game in the NFL this year. They're first in success rate per rush. What's going on in the NFL where the Panthers have the best run defense and the best run game in the NFL? Now, we're not even midway through the season, but the Bills, the weakness of this Bills defense is stopping the run. There's no Daquan Jones on the defensive line. Carolina should be able to run the ball. Yeah, not having Bryce Young definitely matters, but I mean, Bryce Young's got an 85.2 passer rating this year. How much of a drop off in production are we really expecting? On top of all that, Buffalo, Kansas City Chiefs on deck. Game of the year for the Bills is on deck.
I can't wait. Let's go.
And then after that, they go to Miami for a division game. So they got two much more important games than this one after this. This should not be above 7. This one should be at 6.5, 6. So I'm on the Panthers plus 7.5, and I got a touchdown score prop in this game. Let's play the song.
Anytime, touching it down, scoring and running around. It's the anytime, touchdown scoring. Anytime you need touchdown. Yeah.
I flipped. All right, so the touchdown score pick for this game is... One second. I probably should have the graphic ready, huh? It is Chuba Hubbard. Anytime touchdown plus 210. Rico Dowdle is stealing all the spotlight, right? The Panthers' run game has emerged. Rico Dowdle stealing the headlines. Everyone's loving Rico Dowdle. Well, the Panthers still force-fed Chuba Hubbard 14 carries last week. They're still trying to keep their guy fed, and if they're in a goal line situation, I think they get Chuba Hubbard in the end zone. So there you go. I have a Xavier Legette prop here, John. That's you not doing that?
Yeah, you know, I totally forgot. All right, everybody, get your pencils out. It's time for Generational Wealth, the Generational Wealth edition.
Oh.
All right, so again, anytime I'm always looking for this stuff. Whenever we get quarterback changes, oftentimes target distribution kind of resets. Where when you shake the snow globe, it all kind of resets. So again, you have to have access to the stuff. I'm lucky enough I do have it. So after Young went out with the ankle and Dalton came in, I don't know if they had like a practice team thing going on, or maybe they're like a black sheep kind of thing going on. Xavier Legette was targeted by Andy Dalton on 100% of his routes. He had a 100% route share. He came in, ran 5 routes. He got targeted on all 5 of those. Now, he had a decent game, but it feels like that kind of slipped through the cracks a little bit. Not to do the old trope, but, you know, former first-round pick. He's still a young man. Like, I think a lot of times this is something, Kyle, you talk about all the time. We write off the young guys because you're a college guy. And people are too quick to hand wave. Yeah, maybe he's a knucklehead. He's out there eating squirrels and stuff, but who knows when he's going to clean it up. Maybe Dalton got him on the straight and narrow. Who's to say? But he had a nice game. He went 9-92-1, and that just got no respect in the books. So today, Xavier Legette, and again, we're expecting their touchdown dogs. We should have the game script. 4 receptions for plus 120. 5 receptions is plus 265. 6 receptions plus 550. 7 receptions is plus 1,100. He just had 9. Is it really an 11-1 odd that this guy reels in 7 catches? He just had 9 like 7 days ago. So that's where I'm going to go. I'm shoving in a couple chips on my boy Legette and the squirrel pie. If we hit it, squirrel pie's on me, by the way.
Toast.
I played the Panthers with you and when Sean Green joined the show earlier in the week as well. So I can't really add much, but I just really like the fact that obviously the Panthers can run. And I realize that the Bills, who have allowed the second most rushing yards per game in the league, and they rigged dead last in DVOA against the run. You also mentioned the fact that now they're going to be playing this NFC team with 2 huge games after this. I just really hate the spot for the Bills in general. So I played Carolina with you as well.
I think that's going to come back to haunt them. Inability from the front 7 to tackle runners is killing you. It's gonna kill them. It's really going to come back and kill them.
The more I looked, I bet this tailing those 2, and the more I looked at it, especially this morning and last night, unless Josh Allen just goes crazy, I think that we're in this football game the whole time.
Listen, you nailed it. He's always right. Josh Allen going full hero ball is always in the cards, right? If he has a 95th percentile outcome game, Buffalo's going to win. He can do that. But man, I worry that they can't get the stops that they're going to need.
I've moved this on to Giants, Eagles. John, what do you think here?
I think I want to hear what you have to say because I looked like a total idiot last time. This is before the Giants' kind of recent run. They've kind of, arrived. And I think they deserve some credit, I guess. They're kind of doing the, dinosaur that smashes his head into things, the goat battering ram style. But it's working right now. Dart looks like a real baller. I thought Philly kind of had them outclassed, to be honest. I thought the roster was just too deep. And the further we get into this Philly season, I don't want to say the worse they look, but the further they look from last year's, again, kind of top-down roster dominance. And a lot of this is kind of reflecting in, I've added all these nifty differential tabs on my Substack, and yards per play differential. The Eagles are in the bottom 10. That's an important stat. Now, the wins have come from their yards per pass attempt differential. That's really good. But the average, their average third down distance is over 8 yards. It's like bottom 5. The Eagles are not setting themselves up for success. The O-line is taking a little bit of a step back. And I think maybe that's what bit them, because the Giants, if they have one thing, it's probably that front 4. I don't even know if it's a front 7 thing. It's probably more of a front 4 thing. If the Giants have a fail point, it's also their inability to stop the run. But the Saquon stuff has not looked great. Hurts has gotten them those critical first downs when they needed it, but we're all waiting for the big Saquon game. Maybe it happens today. I don't know. I keep running into I don't like anything about this game. My gut says Philly gets their pound of flesh, man. The market maybe seems to agree, because this was a touchdown all week. It's now moved to 7.5 towards Philly. So now, I don't know, maybe I like the Giants just because every time I bet against them, I get crushed. But this feels really ugly, and I think we're going to learn a lot in this one.
Yeah, I kind of agree. It's a tough one. I'll put the Eagles up, but there's no way I'd lay 7.5. I probably wouldn't even lay. I probably would need like 6.5 to actually put money on it.
Hold on. What do you think about the total? I remember I wanted to ask you specifically because we got so many points in the last one. The market response, right? The last one closed at 51. But the game score. We're at 43.5. That's a far cry. Do you see that, Kyle?
I think the Giants' offense is going to struggle here, so I would lean under at the 44. So, all right. Yeah, the Eagles' offense extremely inefficient, specifically on the ground. It just hasn't been there this year. But I still think they could run the ball on the Giants, because basically everyone has. They had that one here, that Thursday night game between the Giants and the Eagles. Now, I was on the Giants. It was awesome. The sea parted for what was the most beautiful, perfect spot for the Giants ever. It was a short week at home. They prepped for the game for 2 weeks. They took Dexter Lawrence out of the Saints game before that, specifically. The Giants literally prepped for that game on Thursday night against the Eagles like it was the Super Bowl. They prepared for it for 2 weeks. So the Eagles limped in on a short week without their best player, who's probably, I would say Jalen Carter is probably their best player. Yeah, Jalen Carter didn't play in the game. Quinyon Mitchell left the game early. So I'm not trying to take credit away from what the Giants did Thursday night. It was dominant. And clearly this Giants team, they kind of made a statement last week against Denver as well. So clearly the Giants.
That's a great point. Even in the loss, that's a great point.
Yeah.
Because that was their game the whole way.
Yeah, well, the first 3 games for the Giants, they beat the Chargers, but the offense didn't look all that great, and the Chargers were terrible at the time. Then they beat the Saints. Then they lost to the Saints. Then they beat the Eagles in what was the most advantageous position ever. And the Denver game was kind of like, all right, well, now you're really going to have to prove it. And I think they proved it to some extent. But here's the thing. This Eagles defense, they've got that game that Jackson Dart played against Philly on Thursday night. That was in terms of opponent passer rating, it was the worst defensive effort from the Eagles all year in terms of opponent passer rating. The best quarterback performance against the Eagles so far this year in terms of passer rating was Jackson Dart. I just think it's a little bit of a fluke. The Eagles have played Mahomes, Prescott, Baker Mayfield, Matt Stafford.
That's great.
Think about that. Yeah. The Eagles have played.
That's the who's who, right? If you had to name just the best pure passing gauntlet that you could face, and then Dart, oh my gosh, crazy.
Yeah, I just think what Dart did against the Eagles in that Thursday night game was a little bit of a fluke. Think about
Doesn't that make it even more impressive, the lack of weaponry for the Giants right now? Imagine if they had Malik Neighbors at 100%.
Yeah, definitely. He's playing well, and the Eagles played Dak Prescott, Mahomes, Stafford, Baker Mayfield, and the best passer rating to be put up against the Eagles this year is Jackson Dart. And so I just think now that the Eagles are prepared for it, not taking it lightly, now that Jalen Carter's on the field, now that Quinyon Mitchell's on the field, now that they're at home, I just feel like there's no way he repeats that. There's no way he repeats that performance. And I also don't think the Giants are going to be able to control the line of scrimmage and run the ball with Scottaboo like that. Now, they can run the ball. I'm sure that they won't get completely stifled, but I just think the Giants offense is not going to repeat what they did on Thursday night in what was the most advantageous position ever. In terms of the Eagles offense, dude, it does, something's broken with this offense, but the Giants can't stop anybody on the ground, and so I think the Eagles can run the ball in the game and sustain some ugly long drives. And I think it would be one of those games where it's ugly, and then the Philly looks like the slightly better team, and then at the end they score a touchdown to go up 10 and cover. So it'd be Eagles for me, but this is a tough one.
Yeah, I actually did a little bit of both. I played for a half unit Philly money line and under 44 together at plus 158 on ESPN Bet. I like the fact that Brian Burns is going to play. That's what made me make this bet. The fact that Brian Burns is going to play for the Giants, obviously a huge piece for their pass rush. And the fact that I don't think that we see the Eagles get embarrassed again. Kyle talked about all the reasons, along with obviously Jalen Carter and whatnot. I think this is a more NFC East drag out type of game where it's like 20-13 or something like that. Eagles. I played this both for a small little half unit play.
So Eagles money line under 44. I like both of those.
Yep.
All right, let's move on.
I just didn't know what I was trying to play the Eagles, but I wanted to play them if Brian Burns didn't play, and I thought yeah.
Kyle, you think they cover the 7.5 with the new line move?
I don't know.
Makes it a little harder. You know?
There's a juice flat 7 available, so maybe I don't know. The NFL today is tough. I think only have 5 bets open, and the NFL I've had back-to-back really good weeks. So I'm not trying to just spoil it by forcing it when I already added a bet in the Broncos game that we're about to talk about, and I'm already like, what am I doing? Man, betting NFL sides on Sunday morning, you'll never win. You'll never win. So
best advice you're gonna get.
I almost, because it's funny that you said that. I heard you this morning because I was trying to gamble a little bit, and I was going to do Eagles Patriots money line parlay, and then I was like, if I'm not really going to deal with this with the Patriots. But yeah, I heard your voice in the back of my head, Kyle.
Yeah, it's nearly impossible to win betting NFL sides on Sunday morning. I think most of the people watching this already know that. No. Most of the people watching already know that.
They don't care. Yeah.
No. You know what it is? The people that are the core viewers that they're not the loudest, so they just don't comment much. But most of the people watching do know that. Yeah. They're just not the type of people to hop into the comments all the time. Browns, Patriots, in Foxborough. What do you think, John?
Man, another one. I think the Browns are not getting the credit, similar to kind of Carolina. I think these kind of bad teams, they carry a stink. For them, it's like a toxicity, and it's easy to say, oh, like the Browns suck. And the Browns are not great.
They do
suck. I think they look functional, and I think the defense is legitimate, and I think the offense looks, again, functional. I think the Browns are the type of team that if the defense can keep it close, they can win any of those games. They're the type of team I want to bet to cover anytime it's north of 7. I've been waiting all week. It's still at 7, right? It's been there all freaking week. If it got to 7.5, that's where I'd be, because it just feels like a keep it close team, because they're very successful running the ball. Judkins looks like a straight-up superstar. Now, New England has created a little bit of a pass funnel. They're going to be difficult. I don't think Cleveland and Stefanski is going to abandon the run game. I think it's the bread and butter, and they need it. No one has really been successful running against New England. So you're going to have to complete some passes. They're going to have to challenge up top, and that's kind of the answer that I have, at least. New England is known to they run a lot of like cover one and a lot of like man. So you're going to get a lot of press man under cover one over. So is Gabriel going to hit the deep shot? It's either been Isaiah Bond or like Thrash, I think, started getting a couple of those reps, those like cardio route reps. So to me, that's just, if Cleveland wants to win, they're going to have to hit a couple deep shots. If not, I think I might like them for the plus 7.5 regardless. Again, the run game is good. I think the defense is special. I think the Graham-Garrett combination up front is like totally legit. And I think they're going to get better as Graham gets more repetitions. They've both proven to be kind of, game-wrecking ability. New England's offense is good. I love Drake May. He really looks like a kind of burgeoning superstar right now. But that run game is shitty. And the reason I know is because I've watched every damn snap because I'm one of the idiots that was into Travion Henderson this year. So I've been trying to figure out where I went wrong. I watched every snap twice from every possible angle. They cannot block for shit. Even a lot of them is not Henderson's fault. He's not a bad player, but they try and pull. They have guys on the outside that don't make contact. The New England run game is very bad, and I think that's going to create a lot of tough spots. I think I like the under, and I think I like Cleveland again. If I can get 7.5, I think the 7 feels perfect, and going to, like you were talking about, the sharpness of 7 just feels like a push to me. So I think Fannin probably gets a couple grabs underneath. But other than that, this one is like, nah. I like the under.
You believe in this team, Kyle?
In the what team?
The Pats team?
Yeah, hell yeah. So
I want to bet them.
Yeah, I want to bet New England too. I'm on that side. I
already cover a touchdown.
Yeah,
listen, man. May looks exciting as shit. He does.
Yeah, and look, John's right. New England's probably not going to be able to run the ball in this game because Cleveland has an elite run defense, and the Patriots' offensive line hasn't created a ton of space in terms of running the ball. That's correct. That doesn't separate it from any other freaking game this whole year. They can't run the ball on anybody. So the fact that Cleveland has an elite run defense is almost like, the Patriots Patriots can't run the ball on the Jets right now. They can't run the ball. They don't have a run game. What they do have is a quarterback that's lighting it up. He's second only behind Jalen Hurts with rushing first downs. He has 17 first downs. Here's your answer.
Well, he's also really good against the blitz and against pressure. He's like one of the top.
He throws deep shots. Listen, he's awesome. He's awesome. I think New England might get bullied up front. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. May he is a special player. And if you told me Cleveland misses the deep shots and May gets his first downs, then you're going to get your cover easy.
Yeah, and like Toe said, he's one of the most. I believe he's the most efficient quarterback in the NFL against the blitz. One of the most efficient quarterbacks in the NFL throwing the ball under pressure. He's also got elite numbers against man coverage, a 142.8 passer rating against man coverage, which is also top of the NFL. Cleveland runs a lot of man coverage.
Yeah, so, top 5 blitz EPA.
Yeah, it's even though New England's not going to be able to run the ball in this game, and even though the Cleveland pass rush is for real, I still think Drake May can make throws. And on the other side of the ball, New England's secondary is a concern. They can't seem to cover anybody for more than 2.5 seconds. Every single time a quarterback has any time at all in the pocket, they're able to deliver a throw. Here's the thing. That's just the opposite of what we've seen from Stefanski this year. The ball is out of Dylan Gabriel's hands in a second. How many times have we seen Dylan Gabriel take a 7-step drop this year? Like once or twice. Like they just don't do that. They run the ball or they do some kind of quick release, some kind of 3-step drop, quick hit, play action to the flat. They do not drop Dylan Gabriel back in the pocket and throw the ball downfield. And
third fastest time to throw.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't do that. Now, is he capable of it? Sure. It's just not what the Browns have done at all. And honestly, it's not really what Gabriel did at Oregon either. He was kind of a dink and dunk guy at Oregon as well. Yeah. So what the Patriots have been struggling with specifically, we saw it in the first half last week against Tennessee. Cam Ward, who's having a terrible season, dropping back, delivering strikes from the pocket. So this Patriots secondary can't seem to cover anybody for more than 2.5 seconds. But by that time, the ball's already out of Dylan Gabriel's hand. So if the Stefanski's going to have to come out of his comfort zone, he's going to have to put a little faith in Dylan Gabriel, drop him back, have him stand in the pocket, and throw the ball downfield. Jerry Jeudy can probably beat his coverage and get open if they want to do that. But based on what we've seen from Cleveland's offense, I don't know if they could do it. It's going to be, they would have to completely change what they're doing offensively. They're not going to be able to run the ball in this game. Even last week, we saw Judkins break a couple big runs. They still averaged like 3.4 yards per carry against the Dolphins. They weren't running the ball.
Well, but it's because it's what you mentioned, Kyle. They don't present the vertical threat to create the counter plan. You know what I'm saying? Like, you look at this team and you say, okay, go ahead. I'm looking at it now. Judkins has faced an 8-man box more than 50% of the time. That's not normal for a starting running back with that kind of volume that he's going to get. it's all feeding all the analysis kind of feeds off each other. The one thing, New England dead last in 20-yard completion. So you see like all these things, all the stuff is going to come together. And I think that's it. If Cleveland's successful in those couple shots, maybe they get it. If not, and they fall behind 10 points, I don't think they have the ability, right? That stylistics that you're talking about to get back. So yeah, it almost feels like it's either like 17-16 or like 28-7. You know what I'm saying?
Toast, what do you think?
It would only be the Patriots for me. I don't think that we can take much off of what Cleveland did last week against Miami. I mean, you're going from one of the worst quarterbacks in the league in pressure in Tua to one of the best in Drake May. And I don't really trust Dylan Gabriel at all. If he happens to go off today, so be it. But I mean, this Patriots defense, where is it against the run, allowing 3-point yards per carry? That's third in the Major League Baseball. It's third in the NFL. I just don't see where Cleveland has any advantage in this game. The Patriots seem to just have figured this thing out this year, so it would only be the Patriots for me.
Yeah, if I'm fading the Patriots, it's got to be with a quarterback that could drop back, throw the ball from the pocket, and that's not what I'm not saying Dylan Gabriel can't do that. But that's not what we've seen from him, even at the college level. So Browns aren't going to be able to run the ball in this game. It's not even that I think, Drake May's just going to piece the Browns defense up. The Browns defense is very good. But if Drake May's just okay, I think they win by more than a touchdown because the Browns offense it's the worst offense in the NFL.
Oh,
it's hard to ignore how good
Who's worse? Who's worse?
Man, I think I might like them more than I like Miami. I might like them more than I like Vegas.
No.
How about Vegas?
The Dolphins' offense at home in Miami is way better than the Browns.
It's not hot though. They usually use that like nuclear sun device that they have. You know.
It's not.
Even in the most advantageous position ever, Cleveland still didn't have efficient offensive numbers last week against the Dolphins team. It's the worst offense in the league. Bucks Saints. This is an interesting one. All right, John, what do you think?
I think I feel like a damn Dunsky because I was in love with this at 4.5, and it keeps moving towards the damn Saints again. I'm sticking with my guns here. I know everything it actually looks like it bounced back to 4.5. I saw like 3.5 and 4 earlier. Anyway, I like Tampa to cover. I think this one should be an easy one too. New Orleans has been flawed. We kind of saw the floor for Rattler with all the turnovers. The Saints lost their center. I don't know where the offense is going to come from. Also, as we were seeing, New Orleans was really struggling to run the ball, and we started to see a flippening in the backfield with Kendra Miller was looking a little better between the tackles and Kamara. Listen, Kamara's still very skilled back. He's great with protection. He's great in the pass game, which helps from the Saints. They're constantly behind. But Miller was acting as more of a foundational piece. They're going to be missing all that baseline work. I don't know where the offense comes from New Orleans. I guess Tampa's a little banged up front. I was actually waiting to see if Vea is in or out. I didn't get it yet.
He's a game-time decision.
Yeah, questionable. I guess that matters, but also, because again, the Saints might have been one of the other worst kind of offenses. I think Tampa kills them. I love the Tampa offense. I just think Tampa gets there. And if you're not buying the spread, I think you should be on the Tampa team total because the Saints defense is really not any good either. Baker's also coming off a poor game. So I love him in a bounce back spot because he was playing MVP level. So yeah, I'm wheels up on the Bucs.
Wheels up is an interesting phrase. I kind of lean the other way, but we do agree on the over. So
yeah, you can sell me on that. That's like my plan B. Sure.
Yeah, I'll put over up. I kind of lean towards the Saints a little bit. So obviously there was some shit talked. Baker Mayfield was like, I don't like those guys. I don't know if he's just trying to do some clickbait shit. They even asked, was it Demario Davis on the Saints about it? And he was like, I don't care about stupid social media shit. And I was like, dude, I'm ordering a jersey for that response. I'm rooting for the Saints now because I don't care about stupid social media shit either. So shout out to Demario Davis. Or, you know what? It might have been Cameron Jordan. One of the Saints defenders said that was like that they were like, we don't care about stupid social media stuff, and I was like, damn, hell of a response. This isn't WWF wrestling. So all right, Baker Mayfield talks some shit. The last time he came to this building, it was an interesting one. A lot of stats. The final score was 51-27. Baker Mayfield threw 4 touchdowns and 3 interceptions last time he was in this building. 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 51 points for the Bucs here. In fact, Baker Mayfield has never lost a game in this building in his career. He's 2-0. He's only been here twice. So both times he's come here, they've won by double digits. Now, here's where I mentioned this before. Shout out to, there was a Saints beat writer, and I should have wrote down his name. I want to give credit to him for this. So I read an article he wrote, the Saints last week. So check this out. They go on the road to Chicago. What do we know about the Bears? They have a terrible run defense. There was 15 to 25 mile an hour winds, rain. So they went on the road to Chicago. A Bears defense that's terrible against the run in nasty weather. What would you think you would do offensively? I don't know. Run the ball? Maybe try running the ball? No. That is not what Kellen Moore did. He dropped Spencer Rattler back to pass 32 times compared to just 17 rush attempts. And on top of that, his ADOT, his average depth of target, a season high 11.9.
No, they're fun, if anything. They are, He knows how to lose. That's the right way to lose.
Kellen Moore, you're going into Chicago in nasty weather against a terrible run defense. Not only do you do nothing but drop Spencer Rattler back to pass, but you're throwing the ball downfield all game. What the hell kind of a game plan is that? So last week against the Bears, I really just think they were it was just poor coaching and poor game plan. At home, the Saints offense has looked pretty decent in their last 2 games. They played pretty well in their last 2 home games. They were competitive in that New England game. I was on the Patriots in that one. They made me sweat the shit out of that. The Saints played the Patriots tough in this building. Came down to the last second. And before that, they beat the Giants by 12. Now, the Giants gifted them some turnovers, but we're talking about back-to-back good games in this building. The Saints offense has looked considerably better since getting the offensive line back. The Bucs defense, I don't trust the secondary. Number one, Vita Vea might not play, and remember, Kalijah Cansey's already out. He's been out. So if both those guys are out,
Hassan Reddick?
Yeah, I don't really care too much about Hassan Reddick. Didn't mean that disrespectfully to Hassan Reddick. I'm just saying he doesn't really.
He was on my list too. That's all.
I don't want Hassan Reddick to watch this.
Yeah.
I'm just saying he doesn't move the needle for me in terms of the points.
It hasn't mattered in a while, right? It hasn't mattered.
Now, the Saints offense is going to be missing their star center, Eric McCoy. So that sucks. But I will say, Todd Bowles, he did play Kellen Moore last year as OC of the Eagles, and it was the Eagles' worst offensive game of the season. He held Kellen Moore's offense to 227 yards. Bucs beat him 33-16. So Todd Bowles did not have problems against Kellen Moore's play calling last year. I think we'll see points. I think we'll see interceptions. I think we'll see fireworks in the Superdome here. So, yeah, I lean towards the Saints in the over. I don't have a bet on this game. I think it'll be like a fun rivalry game. I don't feel real strongly about it. It'll be a fun one to have on the TV, though. Toast?
I bet the Saints plus 4.5, and I like it. So you can sound off on me comments. I don't give a damn. I don't want to hear it. You just talked about Todd Bowles, and what do we know about Todd Bowles and his defense? They like to send pressure. So let's just take a look at Spencer Rattler versus pressure this season. Oh, look at that. According to PFF, he's been 3rd in the league against the blitz this season. So I don't really think this is like a terrible matchup for Spencer Rattler. On the other hand, the Saints as a home dog, guys, check this trend out. Since 2003, the Saints have gone 22-8 ATS as divisional home dogs, clearing that number by almost 5 points a game. That includes 12-1 ATS since 2015 in this spot. I think the Saints finally get one today. I'm on Team Spencer Rattler. Go Saints, go.
Go Saints, go. He ends his dialogue with. Go Saints, go. All right, let's.
I didn't know that their little theme song.
Go is spelled Geaux, though.
That's what it is.
It's weird. Is that a New Orleans thing or Louisiana thing? Because they
the French Quarter stuff. Yeah,
they do that same shit with LSU.
Yeah. It's the French Quarter.
Stupid. Titans Colts. Oh, we got an exciting one here.
I mean, we have one of the most egregious misprices I've ever seen in my life.
What are you saying? It should be 21.
No, I'm saying that. Well, it's my kicking prop that we're talking about.
Joey Slaughter.
The markets are broken.
I honestly, guys, I don't know if these people in the books are literally sleeping at the wheel, but Joey Sly has been an absolute wagon for us all year.
Yep.
I know he was hurt a little bit.
Yep.
They listed, I don't know what's happening over here at DraftKings and all these other places. They listed Joey Sly kicking points at 4.5 minus 115. I don't care who's playing for the Titans. Joey Sly could kick it from 50 plus, and we're indoors in a dome. Are you kidding me right now? What are we doing?
You got to keep it up.
Favorite bet on the board: Joey Sly over 4.5 kicking points. You guys can take it away the rest of the way.
Well, I don't even. Where are these things? Like I can't even find this shit.
You know, defensive special team props.
Of course, obviously.
Thank you.
I don't. All right. Well, I'll have to check it later. I'm looking.
Yo. This is ridiculous.
Toast goes, we're talking about it. Such an egregious misprice. I'm like, oh, shit. Is he about to say the Titans should be 9.5? No, Joey Sly's kicking points. He goes, I don't know if the books are asleep at the wheel. They probably just don't give a shit, dude.
Perfect.
John, what do you think about this game?
I think I have never seen so much like disparity. Before I mentioned the differential page that I've been working off of, it really is helpful to help handicapping and kind of digest lines. When this was 13.5, I thought it was too short. At 14, I thought it was too short. Now it's at 14.5, and I still think it's too short. Lines generally don't go to 15 or worse, but if there was going to be one, there would be. I mean, I'm not going to run through everyone, but just so this is the bow. The Titans are bottom 3, and the Colts are top 3 in point differential, yard per play differential, EPA per play differential, EPA per dropback differential, yards per pass attempt differential, points per drive differential, explosive play differential, and average drive distance, and differential in field position and touchdowns. So, like, this is crazy. The Colts are a damn wagon. Somebody I saw put it up in, I hate taking people's work. It might have been Rebar Sharp. Colts offense is the third best in like the modern era right now. Like just by EPA or yards per play or whatever, like Peyton Manning Broncos and the Tom Brady, Randy Moss Patriot era. Like that's what's going on right now. Steichen is completely in his bag, but that's what happens when you have a quarterback that just understands the assignment. None of the pass catchers are like that. Okay, Warren might be a special player, but he's also kind of Swiss Army-ish, right? Pittman can do vertical. Downs works underneath. Warren can do a little bit of everything. Jonathan Taylor can do legit everything you could ask for from a back. He deserves special attention. One tackle missed, he goes the entire way. This offense is incredible. The Titans look ridiculous. They're also missing Jeffrey Simmons. So I don't know, whatever you thought about the Titans coming in, you have to downgrade them now. This was like the one player holding the defense together is now not playing. They've been really bad. The Colts have a 31.5 implied team total. Very rarely do you see that. That's like peak Lamar Jackson. This one's crazy. This should be a blowout early. It also kind of ruins all the props because I don't think you can project your Colts to be playing in the fourth quarter. It's Colts everything. Last thing, I like the spread more than I like the team total because you can give up before you get to 32 if you're shutting them out. Tennessee is atrocious. Somebody make me look.
I can't disagree with anything. Also, the Colts, I believe, have covered 5 or 6 in a row, one and covered against the Colts have had.
It's the way they play.
Yeah,
they play so fast, and the run game is so good. They get giant chunk games.
No, I'm talking about against the Titans specifically. I think.
Yeah,
they've
been smoking them.
They're so bad. I'm sorry, they're so bad.
Yeah, trust me. If there was a way to get to Titans plus 14.5, I'd come out.
No, obviously we want to.
Yeah, I come out here and give you it, but the Colts look so good and they look so efficient offensively. If the only way it's either Colts or possibly over, but honestly, maybe Cam Ward throws a touchdown pass in garbage time and backdoors it. This is the game I by far spent the least amount of time on. So. Let's move on to the next one.
Yeah. I had DK grabs. Again, if there's any prop people out there. The Colts, the way they play, they're soft underneath. And if we're expecting they're going to be up by 15 points at the end, Jameer DK, zero prospect guy, Kyle. He actually got drafted before Ayomanor. He got drafted before him. They played Ayomanor first. Now DK is starting to getting his run. He took over the slot role. Ridley is out. the Colts have given up like 9.5 receptions to the slot. DK had the little bit of volume. So I think, again, you might have to wait to get it, but it's plus 120 for 4 grams. I absolutely think he gets there.
Dallas, Denver. This is Toast is about to give you some really bad advice here. We are seeing some Denver money, so a bet I placed this morning actually looks all right. I got Denver -3. I am on the Broncos here, and I'm a firm believer in the Cowboys are fraudulent. I'm a Cowboys are fraudulent truther.
Really?
Yes. So both of these teams are actually kind of similar in a way that they've both racked up wins against bad teams. The Cowboys' 3 wins are against teams that have a combined 5-16 record, and it's looking like Washington's pretty bad. So the Cowboys' body of work is getting less impressive as we cruise along. The Cowboys' 3 worst offensive games by far were their 3 games on the road. Their only road win was against the Jets. They lost to the Bears. They lost to the Panthers. And who else did the Cowboys lose to? The Eagles. So the Cowboys are 1-3 on the road with their only win coming against the Jets. They're racking up a lot of really nice-looking offensive numbers against some bad teams. Now, you can say some of that for the Broncos. The Broncos have beaten in fact, these two teams are similar in a sense that they both almost lost to the Giants at home. But the Cowboys almost lost to the Russell Wilson Giants, which in my opinion is more embarrassing. But this Broncos team is sitting at 5-2. And yes, if you look at the wins, Titans, Jets, Giants, the road win against the Eagles is the only impressive one. Oh, and Bengals at home. The road win against the Eagles is the only impressive one. But honestly, you could make the argument that the Broncos very easily could be 7-0 right now. That stupid field goal penalty against the Colts. I mean, I don't think it's a hot take to say the Broncos should have won that game against the Colts with that field goal penalty. And then the following week against the Chargers, they dominated that whole game and somehow found a way to lose at the end. So yes, if you actually look at their wins, you can poke holes in it. But the Broncos have looked better than the Cowboys this year. The Cowboys just look really explosive at times. And what I really like here for the Broncos defensively, I thought what they did against the Bengals was really impressive. And I know it was Jake Browning at quarterback, but man, the Broncos are running man coverage. Jamar Chase and T. Higgins got 0 separation against Riley Moss and Surtain. They couldn't get any separation. And if the Broncos DBs are able to do that to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, now obviously it was Jake Browning, so maybe there were some opportunities, but the numbers in that game, they weren't getting a ton of separation. They were blanketing those guys. And it's kind of a similar situation here where the Cowboys have 2-star wide receivers. The Cowboys' offensive line looked shaky in pass protection at times this year. They've played some bad teams. Those Broncos blitz packages are coming. And on the other side, look, the Cowboys defense, they have the worst defense in the league. I think that's pretty standard. They're also missing basically their entire secondary. The Broncos' offense isn't a unit I consider to be good, but they should be able to run the ball. They should be able to throw the ball. Yeah, I got a flat 3 here, and I placed it because I had so few bets today that I was looking for something, but kind of like it now. And then I saw Toast has 3 bets that are kind of on the other side in this game. Makes me like it even more. So Toast is a Cowboys. So before he talks, Toast is a Cowboys fan.
Okay, that's not fair though, because I don't bet.
What do you mean?
Like
Why isn't that fair? You're a Cowboys
because
fan.
that makes it seem like I'm betting this because I'm a Cowboys fan, and that's
I'm
not
just
true.
stating the fact that you are a Cowboys fan. So
yes, I am a big Cowboy, not a big Cowboys fan. I'm as
I
big
just
as a
feel
Cowboys fan as I
feel I feel the viewers should know that before you start talking. That's all.
All right. Kyle's also a Cowboys fan who likes to bet against them as much as possible.
That's not true at all.
I'm letting the viewers know. That's all. So, okay. What Kyle, that was a nice little soliloquy. What Kyle didn't touch on is that, first of all, I don't want to deal with the Dallas defense either. I'm Dallas team total over 23.5 at -118. And I guess my question to you guys, since everybody in the comments and you two all knows I don't know football, who has Denver played this year that's decent on offense that's even somewhat comparable to the Dallas Cowboys? Because I'm not seeing it. Matter of fact, you could go back over the last year.
The best offense in the NFL.
And how'd that work out?
They should have won.
How'd that work out? They gave up ran for 473 yards on Denver and 29 points. Yeah, that worked out really great. Matter of fact, you can go back the last whole year with this defense over the last calendar year. Denver's defense has faced 12 teams in a defensive top 12. I'm sorry. Denver has faced teams that have ranked in the top 12 in offensive DVOA 6 times, and those teams are averaging almost 30 points a game. I'm just not in a position where I think that Denver can really stop this Cowboys offense. I think this is going to be one of the biggest tests, if not the biggest test they've seen so far this year. Kyle mentioned the Colts, and I just mentioned what happened in that game. On top of the fact you have Brandon Aubrey over 8.5 kicking points at plus money. I continue to tell you guys, anytime you guys get this guy at plus money and 8.5, the books are asleep at the wheel. Now we're in Denver where this ball can fly a mile. He's going to be kicking as soon as the ball hits the 50. They're going to be in field goal range for this Cowboys team. So I'm dead serious. I bet that. I also think Javonte Williams gets some get back against this Denver team. I have him for a touchdown. I think that Denver losing Dre Greenlaw last week at linebacker is really going to be huge for them. I think that Cowboys are going to run this score up. I don't know if they win because the Cowboys defense is terrible, but the Cowboys are scoring 24 points in this game. Believe that.
Final score 31-20. Broncos. Broncos have 7-minute drives that chew the whole game up. John, are you with me?
Man, you know what's really funny? Before we started, you guys said that you were going to duel over this. And if you remember what I told you was, without knowing, I have a feeling that everything can get home in this game. And now I really feel locked in because I like your -3, but my bet was actually the same 23.5 from Toast. Again, it's a competition-based thing. So some of these things are not like the other. Some of these things just don't belong. The Denver Broncos have faced the Titans. Cam Ward goes to 112-0. They face Jake Browning. He goes for 125-0. They face Justin Field. He goes for 45-0 through the air. Just despicable. And again, back to the point I made before about the spreadsheets being misleading. That 45-yard game brings everything down. When Toast was kind of sniffing around this truffle, but he didn't quite dig it up for me. When Denver faced quality offenses, Daniel Jones goes for 316-1. Justin Herbert goes for 301. Jalen Hurts goes for 280-2. And Jackson Dart goes for 283-3. So in the 4, and I don't know where, I don't necessarily count the Giants in the same tier, but against competent or better, the Denver Broncos have not held a single quarterback below 280 yards. I would argue none of them, maybe shy of Justin Herbert, is as good as Dak Prescott. Herbert was dealing, I think he was definitely missing Slater. He might have also been missing Joe Alt in that game because he's been in and out a little bit. I'm a little worried about Denver's inability. This is a big statement game. This is the thing I'm looking for, is that unstoppable force, immovable object. The Denver defense we think of as being really good. The Dallas offense we think of being great. Toast really took my main point, and it's the only place I would disagree with you, Kyle, because everything you said I was nodding along was, I can't trust this fucking Dallas defense. They are so unbelievably bad. This is the worst defense in the league, easily. I mean, we're 7 games in. They're allowing over 400 yards a game. They're the only team in the league that can make that clean. They're atrocious, and it's run stopping, it's tackling, it's poor schematics. They don't induce any kind of pressure. So quarterbacks, like, in fact, I think Dallas might have even started. So, like, it's really bad. They're not getting sacks. They have a 3% sack rate. They have the worst tackle success rate in the league. So you're not pushing quarterbacks off platform. No one is forced to be creative. And even when they complete, you don't tackle. Javonte's in line for a big game. Everybody's in line. That'd be my only point of consternation with you, Kyle, is, I don't know. Again, Knicks didn't. I don't know if Knicks is as good as that final stat line from last week. If you believe in, like, continuation, and that was the awakening, you know, the reclamation is upon us, Knicks is going to wipe his balls on this team.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just think, again, the 50.5 might even be a little bit low. I don't like to go over 50. So I thought keeping Dallas below 24 seemed like too small a task. That's
Yeah, well, the thing is, it's not necessarily that I expect Denver's defense to just lock the Cowboys down. It's the fact that this Cowboys defense, by the way, they're also so Donovan Wilson's out. Thomas is out. Malik Hooker's out. They're missing their top 3 safeties. Diggs is out. They're missing Siobhan Revel Jr. Go look at who's starting in the secondary for the Cowboys. It's crazy. This Cowboys defense can't stop the run, and they have nobody in the secondary. And the way Sean Payton calls the offense, I think we're going to see Denver hold on to the ball for 9 minutes at a time. And there's not a damn thing the Cowboys do. I could see, like, 5-yard run, play action rollout, 4-yard pass, 2-yard run, first down.
You're making me like a Dobbins carries, like something like that. You know what I mean?
I just think that the Cowboys are going to lose this game, and Tosa's going to lose all his bets because they never have the ball.
I don't know, man. Yo,
I do know.
I also think that Bo Nix might throw an interception today.
I know. I saw
throw that out there.
I know. I saw your stupid graphic. He's going to throw an interception to who in the secondary, dude?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It's only plus 100.
Somebody has to catch it. He has to catch
Yeah, I know. And of his 16 career interceptions, 11 of them have came at home. The dude can't play at home. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
True. 11 of his 16 interceptions have come at home. What kind of?
That's true.
That's true. It's a good. All right. Sunday Night Football. Steelers up. I don't even like Tomlin. Steelers win this one outright.
The fact that you love this bet and you hate Tomlin so much made me want to bet it as well, just for the record.
Yeah, it looks like the Steelers are taking some money. I saw 2.5s flashing, which still 3. I'm on the Steelers here. John, you disagree?
Yeah, big disagree. I kind of like the Packers to make some noise. I think maybe they got caught playing with their food a little bit earlier on in the year. And I feel like they're back on track. I mean, you watch this team at certain points, they just look awesome. I know they allowed Dallas to come all the way back to the tie. They allowed Cincinnati to hang in there. They allowed Arizona to hang in there. But man, I really like the way that they play. You know, the defense is very strong. The strong front seven, good quarterbacking, strong running game, diverse passing game. Who was I talking about? Indianapolis. Green Bay reminds me of Indianapolis when it comes to pass catchers, that it's not like a Jamar Chase, Malik Neighbors solely reliant on a single person to win outright. What do you want to do, bro? You know, you want to play underneath? We got something for that. You want to play cover one? You're going to go to Dobbs. If you play up too close, man press, they'll look to go to Golden underneath. And then Kraft is always kind of creating havoc all over the field. So I like the Green Bay offense. And again, I keep mentioning the differential page. If you're into that, and I know some bettors are, Green Bay is probably like a 5.5 to 6 point favorite, not a 3-point favorite. They're way ahead in yards per play differential, way ahead. They're way ahead in EPA per dropback. They're way ahead in yards per pass attempt differential, and worlds apart in explosive plays allowed. Pittsburgh has allowed a ton. They don't get a ton. And I think if you fall behind Green Bay, you're in trouble because that's where they get to focus on, you know, they say pinning their ears back. And I think Pittsburgh moves too slowly to play catch up. So I think you may not be totally misplaced. If Pittsburgh can hang close and, you know, keep it that way, they could win this game. That's possible because, again, the defense is up and down, but they do run. And Rodgers, you mentioned it before, this is the best ball he's played in maybe 3 or 4 years, it feels like. I like Green Bay because of the numbers and the differentials, but, again, you don't really have to twist my arm to say I'm off.
Yeah, I mean, the Packers' defense can't seem to cover anybody all of a sudden. You mentioned how the yards per play differential between Green Bay. Is that not the case between them and Arizona as well? They can't get off the field. The Packers defense, I don't know what's going on with the secondary. In their last 3 games, 54.8% success rate per dropback. This team cannot get off the field. And when it happened in Dallas, it was like, oh, well, Dak Prescott, explosive offense. Yeah. Then it happened against Cincinnati, and we're like, oh, well, Joe Burrow and the Bengals are good now. Well, okay, now it just happened against Arizona. How many times before it's like, hey, maybe this Green Bay secondary isn't very good. And Aaron Rodgers, in a revenge game against his old team, playing, like you said, the best football we've seen from him in years.
It looks good. That Hail Mary, dude, he's out throwing guys half his age. Like, I don't know if there's 5 other guys that could do that, make that throw.
Yeah.
It was like 75 in the air or whatever.
His efficiency numbers from the last 3 games, he's got a 112.9 passer rating. Now, Green Bay does have a pass rush, obviously. They've got some talent there up front. But another thing Aaron Rodgers has done a great job of, getting the ball out quickly. The ball's out of his hands fast. I think the Steelers can throw the ball on Green Bay because everybody seems to be throwing the ball on Green Bay. They haven't played a good defensive game in like a calendar month now. Not to mention Steelers at home, extra days rest, coming off a loss. It's just a really nice spot for Pittsburgh. You always like extra rest coming off a loss. Mike Tomlin, there's a lot of trends that point to Mike Tomlin as a home dog coming off a loss, blah, blah. You know, I'm not the biggest trends guy, but there's a ton of them for pointing to the Steelers here. Yeah, I'm sure you're about to recite them, though.
Yo, Kyle, really quick, that the time to throw you mentioned, when you mentioned Gabriel, I love when you're doing your analysis. I'm kind of in the background looking at him like, oh, this checks out. Gabriel, when you mentioned that he was top 3, Rodgers is one of the 2 people ahead of him with Patrick Mahomes.
Yes. Average time to throw 2.43 seconds.
Right,
Now, Green Bay's offense looks strong, and the Steelers' defense, I do think it's coming around. I don't really take too much away from. I don't like the data points on a short week. I don't really like taking them in any direction. And the game against Cincinnati, it kind of reminds me of the Giants game against the Eagles in a sense that, not that it wasn't important to the Steelers, but that was it for the Bengals. That was a save your season game on a short week at home. Every advantage was pointing towards Cincinnati there. So I don't want to take too much away from that. The Steelers defense has looked slightly better in the previous 2 games before that. And I think TJ Watt's going to make a huge play in this game. He's been kind of silent. Sunday Night Football, prime time. This is what's going to happen. We're not going to hear much from the beginning. Maybe the Packers are up, let's say 21-16 in the third quarter or early fourth quarter. And then the announcer's going to say something. Is it Collinsworth tonight? Is Collinsworth Sunday night?
Yeah.
Yeah. Collinsworth is going to say, we haven't heard much from TJ Watt tonight. And right after that, he's going to have a strip sack that gives the...
he's a game wrecker.
Yeah. And then Collinsworth is going to say this. You knew it was only a matter of time. Here's the guy. So
here's a guy.
Coming off the edge here.
That's what he's going to say. So they're going to mention, the Steelers are going to be down, but they're going to mention how TJ Watt's name hasn't been... Like, we haven't heard much from TJ Watt. Strip sack, Steelers get the ball, touchdown to take the lead. I told you it's only a matter of time. That's what's going to happen. Steelers win outright. Toast, tell us whatever the hell you're about to say.
Just the trends that you were touching on. I know Sean Green touched on them earlier in the week with you. Tomlin off a loss as a home dog, 12-3 ATS. If you want to go week 5 and forward, Tomlin's career as with the Steelers as an underdog of 7 or less, 16-7 straight up. That's almost a 70% return on investment when you're betting the Steelers in this type of spot. So I did that. I also did Boswell at 6.5 kicking points. I thought that was a little bit too low. I will say he has failed to hit his kicking points at 6.5 the last 2 times he's had it, but I don't think that really matters tonight. Steelers all the way for me as well.
Want to do a community parlay? Let's hit it.
Community parlay, the parlay we bet, yeah. Community parlay is for the community. We come unite, making a parlay. Yeah.
All right, let's do it real quick.
Can I say one more thing? I forgot. I've seen it a few times in the comments. It's National Tight Ends Day. I did in that Steelers game. I did Kraft and Washington both to score a touchdown for like $40, like plus 1,000. So
there's a couple of tight ends in really great spots. Schultz is.
Yeah, there is. It was in my notes. I forgot about it. And I've seen it in the comments.
Yeah, there's a couple. If you were going to pick a tight end day, like to have a weird. Fat guy full in the end zone. Today's definitely the day.
Who do you think won the poll? I'm going to put Ravens and Bears in the poll because I forget who won that one. So go ahead. Moneyline parlay voted on by this is not something you should be betting, but for fun. Cast your votes. John, where can the people find your stuff?
Just follow me on Twitter at John Legacy. See it on there. I really appreciate you guys, man. I missed the shit out of you. And if you're into all my weird musings and stuff, I have an R-rated podcast that's really kind of. And I write all types of fantasy and betting stuff. And hopefully I'll see everybody soon, man. It was really great keeping up with you, and everyone have a great weekend. Oh, very, very, very last thing. I do go back and read the comments ever since somebody accused me of being an absentee father. Did you guys see those comments? Somebody said, like, John is my dad. He promised to go buy milk. He disappeared and has not returned in decades. And I'm sorry, son.
Someone did comment that. Someone claimed that John Legase is his absentee dad that left years ago.
It was like a whole thing. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, he wrote like a paragraph, he told a whole tale about John Legase.
Yeah. And I guess it's possible.
First leg of the community parlay is Bengals money line. He just wanted to clear up the allegations that.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, you know me too well. I love it.
Like, that is not my son. I have no illegitimate children.
Yo, do not fucking come here with that child support shit. My wife will put a 357 in your ass. Don't even. You want to come here with one asshole and leave with 2? Don't even start, man.
So anyway, let's vote. Did you hear John before he described his sports betting podcast as R-rated?
That was what lost it for me.
Well, it's only audio. It'd be X-rated, but you can't see the video.
Okay. I have an R-rated podcast. Like what? You're just talking about
people hear one prolapsed anus joke and they freaking lose their minds, man. You know what I'm saying?
So you just want to specify you want to brace people.
Yeah, you got to let people. You don't want to put it on for the kids. For like, Daddy, what's prolapsed?
First leg of the community parlay is Bengals money line. By the way, Toast, if you want to get those odds up.
I am. I got it. Oh, good times.
I have an R-rated podcast. Like, dude, you're talking about spin rate on sliders.
Yo, great fucking. You see the fucking spin on this guy? I'm turn your asshole inside out.
All right.
Colon collapsing. I used to say that. Colon collapsing curve.
No, it looks like Falcons money line is the second one. Bengals money line. Falcons money
line pricey.
Well, honestly,
Andrew.
I can't even get mad at the community for putting like there's so many. It's a shitty board. There's so many big favorites.
Yeah, I hear you. I guess I was gonna say what teasing. Not like teasing is any sharper, but and paying minus 335 for an NFL side, I'd almost rather roll the dice on the spread. You know.
Yeah. Titans, Colts. Yeah, that's going to be Colts money line. That's going to really juice it up.
What? No, I don't. You have to block my face during this. I'm not part of this. I fold.
You know what? Maybe they'll get a dog in there. Steelers money line. Maybe Steelers money line gets some votes. So go ahead, cast your vote. What's the third leg of the community parlay?
Good morning. Oh, yeah.
We're doing pumpkins today, guys, just so everybody knows. It's a big day in my house. Big day.
Oh, okay.
You're doing pumpkins?
Yeah. You know, like you put a face on the pumpkin, you clean the pumpkin out.
It's called carving.
Whatever.
You said doing pumpkin.
Actually, I thought he meant like going to pick.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I
don't know all the lingo. I'm new to this whole dad pumpkin thing. You know, I'm not really a fan.
I mean, dude,
you're new in the game.
Do this shit on a Saturday, brother.
Or just,
John, the World Series was on yesterday. I'm not taking my time out of the World Series to carve pumpkins. Okay.
Wow, respect. It's not even your team. You know, it's not. It'd be different. It's not even your team. I could see if it was the
World Series.
There's money line. Bills money line.
You're rooting against the Dodgers as a Padre guy, I'm imagining, or?
Nope. I bet the Dodgers a lot. Actually.
No, we don't. Come on, betting aside. I find myself rooting for the Blue Jays as a Yankee fan because I don't know, man. It's a likable team. I think if the Dodgers win, it could be damaging for the whole narrative of baseball.
I
disagree with that.
Do you?
I think the whole Dodgers ruining baseball thing is like me, like get off my lawn.
I think
if you can't figure it out, like
Toronto spends. This is not like
I know that's what I'm saying.
Right. So we want to.
It's how they spend though.
Wait, no, Toronto spends. So do the Mets. So do the Yankees. Like a ton of teams spend.
There's a lot of teams that want to.
Yeah. But we want the teams that spend to win. So that's why Toronto feels good. This is not like, oh, I want the scrappy underdog. No, if Toronto wins, I feel like that might encourage other teams. If the Dodgers win, it might just say, oh, unless you're going to spend, $500 million, you can't get there.
I mean, people who say that are just they're going to say it regardless. Like,
yeah, those are the same laundry bros.
Well, it's the same people. I was just talking about this a couple weeks ago. It's the same people that they only have negative things to say. Like, and I literally was just talking about to Sean Green about this last Thursday, where like an NFL fan, where they love the NFL, they're a big football fan, but they hate Adam Schefter, they hate Roger Goodell, they hate the refs, they hate the new rules,
they hate the product,
they hate Patrick Mahomes, they hate Travis Kelce, and it's like, dude, it sounds like you just hate everything about the NFL. What do you mean you're an NFL fan? You hate, maybe you're just like, and it's somewhere like that. It's just like maybe you just hate every aspect of your life, and you don't even realize
it's the
that
best
you
thing
hate
to hate.
everything.
I hate it so much as I'd love it.
It's like the people that comment every day, like hating the show, where it's like, dude, stop watching. What are you doing?
Dude, that is honestly that
part is you can click on their names and it says 65 plus comments on this channel.
And dude, it's like no big deal if you don't like the show. That's fine. It's not for everybody. What are you watching it for? So the community parlay.
The person that's like, I'm unfollowing you.
Like, okay.
Who has you to follow? You were following me in the first place. Thank you for letting me know.
Community parlays: Bengals money line, Falcons money line, Colts money line, Bills money line. Toast.
133.
Oh, stop it! Oh, come on!
This is shameful, community.
Come on, guys! Come on! We got to be better than this.
Hold on, I need to put this. I don't even want this screenshotted. I just want the
133. Oh my gosh! So hold on. Who blows this? I mean, realistically,
I just wanted to put that on the screening. I don't want someone screenshotted this and be like, "This is what Kyle Kirms does on his show." I have nothing to do with this. This is not me. They voted on this.
maybe it's the Jets, right? The Jets might have the best chance of blowing up. Maybe Fields just has a decent game. Like Flacco throws a couple picks. We know that's possible.
No, someone D. Williams was saying it in the comments that the Dolphins. I could see the Dolphins winning.
D. Williams was saying a lot today.
He always says a lot.
Needs a water break.
Nah, you know what? Panthers are going to beat the Bills. All right, everyone, have a good day. I got to take a piss. Let's watch some football. Be in the Discord, hanging out all day if you want.
Yo,
Talk to you guys
appreciate
later.
you all.